place of superiority. And I think a lot of Aquarius do that because we have oftentimes a God complex where we think we're better than other people. And once we can let go of that, hi everyone, welcome back to No Light Tarot. So it is Aquarius season. Actually, my birthday is in 4 days and I'm really excited. I'm gonna have a day to myself, go to the spa. But I feel like, sometimes I'm kind of hard on other zodiac signs, but I feel like I need to be honest about Aquarius. And I always say this, I love being an Aquarius. That Uranus energy that rules us has allowed me to express myself, to be eccentric. I love being eccentric, I love being different. But I've had to work on myself a lot because Aquarius can be very selfish. I used to be selfish. I used to be very manipulative, And I've had to work on myself a lot. I've had to go to therapy. Not had to, but I decided to go to therapy to make my life better because I noticed that I had a trend of being negative, and I see that in some Aquarius that I know. So I'm going to talk about the dark side of Aquarius. I think sometimes the dark side, the shadow side of Aquarius is to make ourselves victims. And I used to do this a lot in relationships. I used to make myself the victim. I used to make myself the victim so that I could get what I wanted. And I had to learn that to come from a clean place, to come from a place of equality, because a lot of Aquarius will be like, oh, we're about equality, we're about equality. When it comes down to it, we're not really about equality, So I had to come from a place of honesty with myself and holding myself accountable first before I ask her for anybody else. Because I meet a lot of Aquarius that hold everybody else accountable, will never take accountability themselves. And that has really taught me that I can't blame everybody else if I'm not doing the work myself. And say about 10 years ago, after having been in therapy, I went to therapy for a long time, on and off, my whole life really. But I really went to therapy when I was 19, excuse me. And I'd just gone through a really bad breakup. I almost got married. No, when I was 20, yeah. I almost got married and it didn't go well. And so for the next about 3 to 4 years, I went every week to therapy. And I had this amazing therapist. His name was Sebastian. And he was honest with me, And I think sometimes therapy can kind of be like a place to vent. But he would give me homework assignments. He would really hold me accountable. With my ex, whatever he is, I would want to blame him. And he would tell me, what are you contributing, And I really needed to hear that because I think the shadow side of Aquarius is what everybody else is doing. And I have some family members of Aquarius who often do that too, where everything is everybody else's fault. When it comes to accountability, it's not that. And we are a fixed sign. Fixed signs can be very stubborn. But one day I decided, especially because I used to do a ton of yoga. I still do yoga. I just don't go into the studio. But I do it at home and I love my spinning. But one day I decided to really just let go of this idea that I had to be perfect and that I had to come from a place of superiority. And I think a lot of Aquarius do that because we have oftentimes a God complex where we think we're better than other people. And once we can let go of that and realize we're just the same as everybody else, it's so freeing. I know someone who's Aquarius, and I don't want to say how I know them because I don't want to put them on the spot. But everything is about how everybody's doing him wrong. And, when he talks about his relationships, and I just keep quiet because I'm like, it's not really my place to say, hey, I think you're the one that's screwing up your relationships. But it's always everybody else's fault. Always everybody else's fault. And he's not doing well with certain things in his life, but it's always somebody else's fault. Everybody's trying to cheat him, and he'll literally talk about somebody, and the next breath he'll be like BFFs with them. And I really don't like that. It's very two-faced, which can also be the shadow side of Aquarius. So I'm only telling you all this because we have a shadow side. Every zodiac has a shadow side. But the reason why we know it is so that we can work on it. And I myself, I used to be selfish. I used to have a God complex. But through doing the work, growing, learning, taking things in, and having boundaries for myself and others, I've shed a lot of my shadow self. I'm still working on myself, that's the point of life. But I've shed a lot of my former shadow self because I was willing to get honest with myself. And I think everyone in life, we're not going to go anywhere if we don't look in the mirror and say, I messed up. I can do better. This is not enough, And I think, especially in this generation of affirmations telling ourselves what we are, and that's beautiful. But how we really affirm something is by being it. So that's what I have you all. I love you all. Please comment. I'd love to be able to say, I've dated a lot of Aquarius guys. If you want to vent about Aquarius, feel free to in the comment section. I don't take it personally. I vented about Sagittarius. People are like, oh, you just don't like us. I'm like, that's not the point. The point is that the point of this whole channel, no lie, is to be honest. And to let go of this whole thing that we have to have facades and this and that, and to grow from an honest place. So I love you all. Please comment. I'd love to hear if you say